Hi, I'm Dr. David Tzall, and I'm a licensed psychologist specializing in couples therapy and relationships. And let's go over some signs that contempt is ruining your relationship and how to overcome it. But first, what is contempt in a relationship? Contempt in a relationship refers to a feeling of disdain or disgust for your partner as a person. It's toxic and causes a heavy emotional, psychological, and physical toll on the receiving partner. Contempt is very different from a complaint about your partner's actions, for example. Contempt takes it a step further, and you explain the criticism by attributing it to the partner's inherent unworthiness. Contempt is the worst of the four horsemen and involves sarcasm, cynicism, name-calling, sneering, eye-rolling, mockery. Here's an example of the difference between contempt and a complaint. Your partner said they would pay the bills this month, but didn't get to it, and now you are facing high interest charges. Contempt will look like saying, "You never follow through. I can never count on you to do what you say you will do." A complaint is more of, "When you said you were going to pay the bills and then I found out they hadn't been paid and we are going to get charged interest, it causes me a lot of stress." Some signs that indicate contempt is ruining your relationship are that you no longer feel fondness, admiration, and respect toward your partner. You no longer enjoy their company or value their opinion. Your relationship instead is adversarial. Your partner no longer feels like a friend or ally. Examples of contempt include you don't respect each other. You and your partner no longer treat one another respectfully, either verbally or non-verbally. You don't give each other the benefit of the doubt and lean toward negative interpretations of their behavior or their intention. There's a loss of trust and admiration and appreciation for each other as individuals. You compete with your partner. Instead of seeing your partner as an ally, you view them as a competitor. You and your partner vie for power and try to outdo one another in one or more areas of your lives, such as work, family, finances. Instead of celebrating one another and each other's successes as a win, you're more likely to resent, minimize, and ignore them. Criticism and correction over discussion. In place of respectful discussion, criticism or correction take over. This sets up a dynamic whereby one partner speaks down to the other, conveying complaints attributed to a perceived deficiency in their partner's character or personality. A corrective attitude implies that one partner knows what is best and feels their partner needs to be directed, which is condescending. Disrespectful body language. Eye rolling and physically turning away when your partner is trying to talk to you can convey contempt and a lack of interest in connecting with your partner. Walking away from a discussion or turning your focus to your phone or computer when your partner is trying to have an important conversation can also be perceived as disrespectful. So, how do you overcome contempt in your relationship? Well, there's evidence that if partners learn about and enact new ways of interacting with one another, it can be repaired and reconciliation take place. An attitude of contempt can be learned from observing parental relationships, and it can be unlearned as well. Here are 3 ways to combat contempt in your relationship. It's important to start with small changes. Start with noticing how your current ways of addressing concerns impact your partner and relationship. Then start with small changes or maybe experiments as you try some of the suggested strategies to improve your communication with your partner. Approaching these experiments with curiosity and a problem-solving lens can help release blame and improve the bond you have with your partner. It's important to soften startup conversation. If you have a complaint that you want to bring to your partner, it can be helpful to soften the startup language, talking about body language or words expressed that mention a concern without blaming or judging them as a person. Be polite and respectful. Express your concern, but also convey to your partner what you appreciate about them. And lastly, don't store your complaints and bring them up all at once. This can lead to your partner feeling overwhelmed and shutting down if they're just feeling bombarded with all your negative energy. Communicate your feelings and needs. It can help to use I statements instead of you statements when talking to your partner. Statements that start with you often convey blame. Instead, focus on how you feel and what it is you need, while being careful to overuse I and not express care for your partner needs or feels. Be specific about what you're asking from your partner. Don't expect them to guess correctly, because most likely they're not going to be mind readers. Final thoughts. If contempt has found its way into your relationship, don't despair, as it's likely to be repaired. It's just important that you're both motivated and willing to put the work in and try out new approaches and behaviors that will likely help your relationship. Ultimately, it can be strengthened if you and your partner want to. If it feels like you need help with it, don't hesitate to see a couples therapist.